All right, welcome in everyone to
Hello, can you hear me?
episode 19 of the podcast. And guess what? You want to touch a very clammy, anxiety-riddled hand? Back in person, baby! Also, flashback to last week. Happy birthday, Bob! I couldn't get to you until now.
I don't like, this is some crazy green screen work right now.
Oh, shoot.
I don't like presents. Oh my God.
Yeah?
It's a big old bottle of molasses. Coffee.
It's coffee.
In case you didn't know what it was.
You can keep that jar and everything. And guess what?
What?
I made that coffee.
Oh my God.
That is
what is it?
That's a 12-hour brew.
Oh my God.
It's got notes of vanilla and a tiny bit of pumpkin spice because I wasn't sure if you liked it. It's very tiny pumpkin spice. I couldn't remember if you liked it. And I didn't want to message you and be like, do you like pumpkin spice? Because I would just kind of give it away. So,
Well, thank you very much.
it's okay.
That's something very similar for the next podcast.
Oh, cool. That's just coffee, by the way. You got to put like cream and stuff.
I know. I can see.
So
I
just
can
wanted-
smell it.
I wanted to make sure you know.
Thank
So,
you.
You're welcome.
So I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
I kind of want to mess around, do an episode.
Oh, okay.
Let's get on with it.
Sounds cool.
For all those begging and clamoring for some of the crew to have a mic and a camera, we aim to please around here. I made sure that E had it set up for today.
I didn't know he had a camera.
It's right there.
I walked in.
I heard you talking about it before, but I didn't.
I walked
it
in
didn't
as
register.
a joke. I was like, "We got E-cam today," and then he pointed at it. I was like, "Oh."
I mean, I don't know. It's
I
up to
want
you
your
guys.
mic and your camera to be horrible quality.
That's not up to
Can
me
you
at this
make
point.
it worse? I want you to sound
Pixelate it.
like you're a helicopter pilot with those headphones.
This is E with the eye in the sky.
Yeah.
It's just going up. I mean, whatever you want. We can
Put
do
the
it
mic
Saturday.
in your mouth when you talk. Yes.
Sure, and he gets mad at me when I burp directly into the thing.
Well, that's
Might
because
have
it's
some
in my
farts.
brain. That's
Had some
mine.
coffee today already.
Some farts.
I'm gonna have some
You
farts
gonna-
into this mic.
You gonna stretch up?
I brought
push
a fart
down?
mic. I'm sitting on it.
All right, so today's episode gonna be fun as always because we're back in for like the first time in like 5 episodes. I'm pretty sure. We're gonna pick up Nintendo slack a little bit here because after the last direct, it kind of left a lot of people not really knowing what's coming the rest of the year when there's actually a lot coming this year.
There were a lot of games in that direct, but there's a lot that they have announced before that we still don't know anything about that are currently in development that they just didn't show for whatever reason. And there's also stuff coming out.
I still
that we
stand
missed.
by that direct didn't really tell us too much about the rest of this year. Like Nintendo almost seems like they're done with it. But a lot of that was like 2023 stuff. But there's a ton coming before Christmas.
That's interesting because in the direct, in the announcement for the direct, they specifically said they're going to focus on games coming out this winter.
Yeah, well, I had someone comment on one of my things saying, I realized today that a lot of Nintendo YouTubers don't realize when winter is because this winter is technically December, January, February. So, yeah.
Is that
I know.
not winter 2020? No, I guess that would be.
No, if they're saying it's coming this, I know this is that weird mind bend thing. When I heard winter, I was like, it's getting cold now. This winter means this year. Technically, there's more of next year, this winter, than this year.
I guess that's a business thing. That's the business quarter of the winter.
And it's also a little bit of like, the skirting around saying it's next year, like this winter.
Yeah.
You know,
It's like it still counts.
it still counts as this winter, even if it's late February.
Yeah. That's why the Switch came out when it did, because they wanted to hit the previous quarter, I think.
Yeah, I think something ends or starts in March.
Yeah. But Breath of the Wild's coming out in May, or the new game.
Yeah.
Tears of the
Tears
Breath of the Wild.
Kingdom, which I don't know how you don't ever remember.
They,
Something. I love being back with you, man.
they announced what it actually is called, and it is Tears. They said it refers to the crying.
Yeah, which is why, and we missed this when we talked about it last week. That's why it was delayed or going to be delayed in UK, as well as it ended up not being a live stream in UK. It was just uploaded because
the actual kingdom is crying.
Tears
right now.
of the Kingdom just seemed a little out of place at the time.
I don't know why.
I don't know why.
They're-
No, I don't know
what's
either.
up
Who's
over
crying?
there. I'm certainly not.
before our time.
Should we? You seem to think there's a lot of games coming out this year.
I do
don't.
think.
Okay.
A lot.
I think there's a lot of games that probably would never have ended up in a direct.
No, well, there's
Like
also
a lot of little indie things that I'm excited about.
there's also a ton of games that were in the partner direct. Like I'm now realizing,
Yes.
I went back and watched
Yes.
that partner direct. The partner direct was kind of hype compared to the direct we just had.
I agree, and I think I said this in the last podcast.
I
I
did.
think that they had a lot of stuff in that partner direct that was supposed to be in this, and they blew their load too early.
I think they did, but also they should have had a lot more load. Like Nintendo has been pent up for a while, and I feel like it should have really covered everything.
Got to eat more protein.
But it was more of just a little drizzle. This is why we don't do them in person. I don't know. What do you
No,
want?
it gets too hot.
Do you want to talk about the games we know are coming, or do you mentioned games that are in development that you wanted to call attention to?
It seems like two different things. Why don't
It
you
is.
do yours first? You
Oh,
do the
mine-
ones that we know are coming, because
Mine could
I
be a lot.
don't believe you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, there are such great games coming, such as Monkey Island.
Oh yeah, that's your game. You like that game?
Yeah. No, there's a lot actually.
Is that
Monkey.
this year?
Yeah, no, it's actually it was right now. It hasn't come out, but it's like 3 days ago. As of this episode
Oh
uploading,
my
and that's an
God, wow.
exclusive to the system, and I'm really surprised they didn't push it a little harder. Also, Persona 5. Like they didn't talk about Persona 5 in the recent direct. They also didn't give us confirmed release dates for 3 and 4 Golden, which are coming to the Switch.
That's a good point.
So that was kind of misplaced.
That was the big deal thing in the partner direct.
I know. This is what I mean by it just seems so weird they focused on so many things that, I mean, like you could throw in a couple of these at least to break up the farming games.
Yeah.
Nier Automata is still coming out October 6th with like exclusive content for the game.
Yeah, that's pretty soon.
That's pretty soon and pretty good. The entire No Man's Sky releases October 7th.
Yeah, these were all for sure supposed to be in the direct.
That's why I'm saying that partner direct was actually pretty sick. We're getting things like new Tales from Borderlands. I'm just scrolling.
Yeah.
Sonic Frontiers didn't even get a look in this new one.
Interesting. Sonic Frontiers was in the Japanese Nintendo Direct.
That is interesting.
And that has a lot of cool footage from the Tokyo Game Show and stuff. So the footage of Sonic Frontiers is looking better and better. I still have little faith in that game, but what we've seen already in the previous Nintendo Directs of Sonic Frontiers doesn't look as good as what the game looks like now.
I agree. And I'm looking down the list, and I don't know if I really want to call attention to some of these, and I can see why Nintendo left them out as well.
Panty Party.
Oh, Yokai Watch 4 was supposed to come out this year, but I don't think because they haven't said anything.
Yokai Watch 4 came out in Japan like 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all they got to do is an English port of it.
All they got to do is translate the whole
All
game
they got to
into
do
English.
is do the one thing I need them to do, and that's a lot of work.
Yes.
So what games are in development that they didn't talk about?
Oh, okay. I should probably have the list ready, shouldn't I?
I'm going to find more.
That's why the last direct sucked, was because all of those games are banging, and if they were in there, it would have subsidized it a little
I
better.
agree, but like, why do a 40-minute direct then with filler?
I don't know. It was a terrible move.
There were 6 farming games.
Yes.
Yes,
announced.
yes.
It's
You know how we know that?
how
We talked about it last episode.
that I was live tweeting it the whole direct, and I was like, take a shot every time a farming game. You would have been drunk by the
You
end.
would
of
have
it.
been wasted.
Yeah.
I'm actually excited for like half of them though, if I'm being real. Also, I made a tweet yesterday. Imagine if they delayed Zelda because they're adding farming to Zelda.
I mean, I'm looking at this list, and all of these games were announced already. were in the direct. Advanced Wars 1 and 2. Now that's a game that we probably won't see for a while.
No. Do you want to take a bet on when that's going to release?
I think we'll hear about it again next March.
I don't think they're even going to acknowledge its existence until Russia is out of that country.
I think that's going to happen this year.
Yeah, you want to put a bet on that?
Right now,
That seems like a weird thing to bet on.
the last thing I heard was that Ukraine is
Do you want to?
like at the border pushing out.
Really?
Well,
Yeah.
also
Good for Ukraine.
there's. I don't know if we want to get political, but there is push for Putin to step down.
Mm.
This is what.
Yeah, I think
Push
Russian-
for Putin?
I
Yeah.
think Russian people are kind of
if you want to push for Putin, man,
I'd love to push for Putin.
Ew.
I'd love to get that
Okay.
guy out of there.
This is now the Communist Podcast. So yeah, Advanced Wars 1 and 2, but that's delayed for a good reason. Detective Pikachu 2.
Oh, that's not happening.
But that's just a game that's in development.
I don't know if
that
it
we
is.
don't know about.
Last I heard, that was getting scrapped.
Really?
Yeah. Well, they were going to do a Detective Pikachu 2 movie, and I think it got scrapped. And then
that movie was good.
I know.
That was one of the few good video game
and
movies.
one of the successful video game movies.
Yeah. I saw it with somebody who doesn't like video games, and they were like, that was a good movie.
Yeah. It was fun. I liked it.
Got weird towards the end, he said, but I was like, yeah, but that was like kind of faithful to the game.
It did get weird. I don't know. I didn't love the story, but it was a fun movie.
Next is Metroid Prime 4, which we all know it's just sick.
Oh, you want to talk about those guys?
Those guys.
The ones that are never ever happening at this point.
What? You think Metroid Prime 4 is not happening? They're remaking it.
It's
started over. They gotta make a Metroid Prime 4.
It's been like what, 6 years since they.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
They haven't said a single word. We haven't even got a
Pikmin
Metroid Prime trilogy.
4 was done in 2015.
Whatever Pikmin 4 Miyamoto said was done then is gone. We're never gonna get to play that.
Yeah.
Maybe it was retooled into Hey Pikmin.
So how long ago was 2015? Math.
It's the math podcast.
7.
7 years ago. So when did they say they were redoing Metroid Prime? Wasn't that 2019?
Oh yeah, it was.
So 7.
Oh, you're trying to calculate Miyamoto math.
2026. We'll see Metroid Prime 4.
That's some good Miyamoto math. I like that.
And maybe around then we'll see some GameCube games on the Switch.
I honestly, at this point, with a lot of games that are big like this, that have been in development this long, I wouldn't be surprised if they end up just being delayed till next console. Also, we keep talking about what is the big game that Nintendo would release with a Switch 2. If they do blow their load with Mario before that, imagine Metroid Prime. Yeah. Metroid Prime finally happens and it launches with the Switch. Metroid Prime, though,
that's going to be pretty graphically intense.
It would be very graphically intense. It would be very sick. It'd be very hype, but Metroid does not sell. That's the only reason why that argument, I think, would fail, because Metroid Dread was the best-selling Metroid of all time, and it like scraped like 3 million sales. Whereas like Breath of the Wild sold like 15 million. Mario Odyssey sold less than Zelda, I'm pretty sure.
Mario Odyssey, yes. Zelda sold
11 million, 12 million.
They were neck and neck, but Zelda definitely won because it came out when the Switch came out, and the attach rate was insane for that game.
I thought you had a plan with these unreleased undeveloped games, and
too.
now we're both on our phones trying to figure out what to talk about.
Because I Googled this right before we started, and I saw a bunch of articles about it, and I was like, oh, everybody's thinking the same thing I'm thinking. There wasn't a lot in the Direct, so what is everybody working on? What are all the Nintendo studios working on? The IGN article had games that were in the Direct, and I found another one that was an old article, and now I found
you were like waiting to read it?
Yeah, I didn't want to, I wanted to surprise myself.
Yeah, no, you messed up.
I messed up.
We should probably do the sponsor. We can't say thank you enough to all of you for helping us get to the point where we're getting sponsors. And also a huge thank you to Geologie, who's sponsoring this episode, and you could get 70% off. But let me tell you why you should. Bob, what you got over there?
I got the eye cream anti-aging formula, because you see these bags?
Yeah, I do actually.
Yeah. I actually do need eye cream because of that. We have to color correct. Sometimes when we do our promo photos, I color correct out my purple
I do the
eyes.
thumbnails, and I have to fix you a lot. But also me, because we're content creators, which is very stressful, and that takes an impact on our skin. And we all have stresses in our life. I'm sure you're stressed out for whatever reason you're stressed out for, and it's completely valid. I'm here with you, and I love you. You're never alone, okay? Stress is normal. But let's fix that stress with some Geologie.
We got a lot of skin issues. We both wear makeup before we go on this.
I did put some makeup on before this. 50% of guys suffer from under eye issues like dark under eye circles, puffiness, tired eyes, fine lines, and wrinkles. And for some reason, we don't take care of ourselves, and then we end up 60 years old looking like Simon Cowell.
It's hard as a dude to get some ideas about skin.
Kim's always screaming at me. And at night, she grabs my arms and like puts crap on my elbows because apparently when they touch her, it feels like sandpaper. Hey, I'm a guy. I don't know what I'm doing. Kim's up last night rubbing snail goo onto her face because apparently that's good. I don't know what's going on over here.
Yeah, use Geologie instead.
Use Geologie. It's simple. Sorry,
you don't have to wring out a snail. We got products for that.
Yeah, trust me. No snail goo was used. Well, I actually don't know if that's true.
We also have tone control, morning cream. We got, what is this? Everyday face wash. Oh, I need that. We got more everyday face wash.
It'll help you also get into a habit of using stuff and taking control of it now, so that when you get older, you don't look like crap. You know what I mean?
Night cream.
There's night cream,
morning
everyday
cream and night
face
cream.
wash.
All day, everyday cream.
I want to do the under eye. Yeah.
I just did it.
Yeah, I know, but I was jealous.
Now you got to do it.
I was watching you do it, and I was jealous. I think you're supposed to put it on like your ring finger or something.
It matters what finger.
And then you do like a little bit of like.
Make sure you get it in your eye too. I heard you're supposed to.
Oh yeah, really?
That's
Oh, that stings, Bob.
Don't do that.
I was just kidding.
Now you can't put that in.
No, I was kidding. It doesn't actually sting. I got it right in my eyeball, and then non-sting technology is doing me right. So we got the 5-piece trial set, which is valued at $50. 2 everyday face washes, a vital morning face cream, repairing night cream, and nourishing eye cream, which is what I'm putting on right now. And feels kind of good. I feel like I'm waking up right now.
I want to note it says avoid contact with the eyes and lashes.
Yes, please do not
It's
put
like
it in your
literally
eye.
the only thing it says on the back.
Bob was joking about that.
Use 1 pump at night. I do that all the time.
They have exceptional customer service and skin consultation, which, yeah, we had to do a quiz to get these too.
We did.
We filled out, what was in that quiz? That was a little bit I did that ago.
It was very in-depth. I gave them my social security number.
Yeah, it was pretty
grandmother's
in-depth.
name,
There was like age and like stress levels and like
my
how
SAT scores.
how our skin reacts to things, and if we feel like we have sensitive skin or like whatever skin. Nice to have whatever skin. I have very sensitive skin.
So this is what you'll get if you failed your LSAT. You get all this.
So if you have terrible skin like me, this is probably what you will get. I'm trying to keep us
What's
on
our
track.
code here, Wood?
I'm getting there. But do you know that they have over 5,000 5-star customer reviews? Of course they do, because they're so good. So just head to geologie.com and take their free skincare quiz to save up to 70% off on a 30-day trial. God, didn't I just nail that one? Even better, join their new Geologie Galaxy community for more daily tips, giveaways, and more at their Discord channel. We'll put links for that down below.
Discord?
Yeah,
I didn't know they were
going
gamers.
for it out here. Thanks to Geologie for sponsoring today's video. Oh, and they also want me to spell out Geologie because it's not how you think it would be spelled. It's Geologie. So if you're an audio listener, you got to type it in like that. IE before Y, never Y actually.
Should have let me guess.
Don't put in a Y. I should have let you guess. Thank you, Geologie, for sponsoring today's video. Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. So what are you excited about coming out this year then?
Well, after looking at all of that and struggling on our phones to find anything, just really, I guess, the big stuff that was shown at that Direct and No
Right.
Man's Sky.
And the partner Direct had more stuff that were actually interesting.
You know what I'm starting to think?
What?
Now that Nintendo like aren't really showing too much, maybe it's not a case of like failings. Maybe it's not a case of Nintendo struggling to get games out. Maybe something is happening. And I know. I change my mind all the time. And I'm not saying this is the case, but this is kind of the lull that happens before we get into like new hardware territory.
Yeah, but we've been saying that for over a year.
I know. But
And we are
smoke without fire though.
We are for sure in that lull. But I keep saying like Nintendo's got something up their sleeve. You know, there's a reason why they aren't saying a lot of stuff, why they're holding a lot of games back. But I really do think that they just are taking their time. They're taking more time on the games. They've been struggling because of COVID and they're struggling to get back. And I think that's literally it. I don't think they have any big plans anymore. I'm starting to.
I'm with you, honestly, but here's what should be happening. Because we just saw that Direct, and every game that was revealed in there that wasn't a first-party Nintendo game that we might have been excited about a port for, we just complained about frame rates, about muddy visuals.
Yes.
And that's echoed around the world. I mean, shortly after we did our podcast, Donkey uploaded his video of comparing the state of play to Nintendo. And, you know, we're in Nintendo. We're all in this. You guys are all in this. And we love Nintendo. And we love getting the farming games. And we love getting the little chibi crap.
Okay, no.
I'm trying to pander. But you gotta imagine being outside of the Nintendo bubble, like Donkey or like anyone, and comparing something like the State of Play with these high intense action, brand new games, cutting edge, and then you cut back to the Direct, and yeah, they're probably talking about a farming game that's running at 20 frames because Nintendo can't handle it.
I'm falling out of the Nintendo bubble. I'm really not having it anymore.
Shut up. We're on a Nontendo
We're the
podcast.
Nintendo.
True. Okay.
Nintendo.
True.
That's. I mean, I talked about it last week. Like, I'm looking at freaking Tunic, and I'm like, why would I get this on the Switch?
They are making it a little hard to be passionate about the console and to be like uber fans. Beyond the first party stuff, the hardware is just. I'm so. I will say though, I thought I was gonna play my Steam Deck a ton now that I have it. But that thing is actually collecting a little bit of dust because Splatoon 3, sick. Playing that a lot.
Splatoon 3 is very good.
Ooblets came out and it runs great on Switch. That's a great, if you haven't played it, very great farming game. You'll love it. And Kim and I addicted to that. And I haven't picked up my Steam Deck in a while. But my point still stands that a lot of these games that are releasing, they aren't doing very well. And surely Nintendo knows by looking at like Tunic and being like, maybe we need something that can play Tunic.
So the answer would be new hardware.
Yes.
But another problem is that they sell their first party games so well. Like most of their money's coming from first party stuff.
They have made that mistake before with the Wii U, where they had a console that they sold their games really well, but then everything else sucked.
Yes.
And with the Switch, we didn't have that problem. We didn't have it.
That's because it was good hardware.
Yes. But now it's too long, too late, and even like these little indie games are chugging too much on the console. It's just when you do something like this, it's all well and great to be like, oh, we want to extend the lifespan of it. I understand that and I appreciate that. I don't know why I keep doing this today. I have sass today. But it's all well and great, but the hardware there changes and evolves and grows so quickly.
The hardware on the Wii U is not there. And all of the third-party devs kind of pulled out. They were like, it's too hard to develop for another screen. It's not graphically, it's not a good console. It's not very powerful.
You mean the Wii U?
The Wii U, yes. But also the Wii kind of.
Scared me.
The Wii U was just bad hardware. And they were like, we got to develop for a second screen. That's ridiculous. The hardware is not there to handle it anyway. And the Wii didn't really help either. The Wii was like the worst graphics on any console that generation. So people made worse versions of games for that. So that started like a chain reaction of developers just pulling out of Nintendo. They're like, we don't want to waste our time developing for you. And then the Switch came out and it had barely any third-party support for a really, really long time. And then it got some third-party support, and now we're at the point where it's just not enough.
Except Ubisoft, who just seems to love Nintendo.
Ubisoft has been doing pretty good.
Ubisoft has supported Nintendo since like day one.
Yeah.
They're like Zombie U on Wii U at launch.
Yeah.
And then they even gave Ubisoft Mario. They gave Ubisoft Mario. That's how much of a friendship and relationship they have with Ubisoft.
Activision had Skylanders at launch too, or around launch. They tried, but then they scrapped Skylanders because they put all of their studios on Call of Duty.
Can I tell you a funny story?
Sure.
Sorry to interrupt. You know how did we talk about Jeff Grubb in a podcast episode recently? I think we might have mentioned him. He watches the show. I found out. Hi Jeff, how you going? I streamed the night
I was watching, I think.
After, not last episode, but the one before. I was playing Splatoon, I'm pretty sure. And I was playing it the day early because it came out Friday and I got it on the Australian eShop.
I was watching this.
And so I made my Go Live notification, got Splatoon released early or something. To just kind of, I do it every time because people just click on it to find out how they can get the game early. And then they find out they would have to make a whole account, which takes 10 seconds. And they're like, I don't want to do that. I wanted to find out how to play the game right now, but I don't want to do work. So they get all mad, but they spam me with like, how do I get the game early? And at some point, I get sick of answering the question honestly. So I start throwing out weird and wackies. I'm like, oh, I'm playing on Xbox, or like, just stupid stuff, sarcastic stuff. Like, Miyamoto sent me a copy. And then at one point I was like, Jeff Grubb's giving them away for free. DM him on Twitter. I didn't realize that Jeff Grubb has his DMs open on Twitter. And so guess who stopped by my stream like an hour later, asking me if he started buying Splatoon copies for people. Can he invoice me the bill?
Oh my God.
I was so embarrassed. Not as embarrassed as Jeff Grubb probably was though. After the
He
direct.
changed his name on Twitter to L.
I know. Well, it was him and that Mike guy that we talked about. Yeah, I know. I got all these. And
Mike?
Mike Motti or something. We mentioned him on the podcast.
I know Jeff Grubb and Nate, Direct Feed Gaming.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was it they said? They said we were getting.
And Liam Robertson also had.
That was a
some
lot
stuff.
of people.
Yeah.
And then we echoed it, because we trust these people.
What we talked about on the podcast was Liam Robertson said like GameCube fans are gonna have a lot of fun next week, and then Nate said like a joke about F-Zero, like implying that he knew also the news, and then Liam was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, you might be implying something different than what I know. Meanwhile, neither of them ended up being right.
I run in Nate's circles, so I don't want to say anything bad, but very often I see a lot of these people do these like sly tweets where they don't want to like say what the actual thing is.
You mean the whole Spawncast from start to finish? It's just freaking John.
They're friends
and
of the
Nate
show.
all
Stop.
just doing
they're
that
friends
the
of
whole
the
time.
show. Stop.
Like when we're on it, we're like they do some of that, and we're like, okay, but what do you mean?
They do always do that. Like Nate will say something sly, and then Spawn will be like, "Oh, really, Nate? Oh, okay, all right."
Yeah, and he knows. They both know, and we're just sitting here like, imagine what the viewers think.
To be fair, they're right a lot. I mean, we found out somehow about the direct to the day, so that was nice to know in advance, and it saved us. We were recording too early.
We were so confident in the person that told us.
Yeah.
That we changed our whole schedule around it.
And guess what? It worked out great.
Yeah.
But then the same
people.
But
if that person said something about there being GameCube games, I believed everybody anyway. I fell into the.
But then some people, I believed it too, will say something like very sly or whatever, and then like when it does happen, they retweet themselves. And then when it doesn't happen, they're like,
they pretend like it never happened.
I was just being sly. I was just like writing something.
Nate specifically said something. He responded to somebody's tweet, and he said something like, people need to realize the difference between reporting on a something like
Well, here's the thing: the way it was worded is so confusing.
Yeah, because it's very specific.
Yeah,
he said something. People need to realize the difference between making a leak and taking a guess. And the problem is that he does both. So how could you tell the difference?
And very often they are the same thing. Maybe not from him. I don't know what the situation is, but very often it's the same thing.
That's the problem, is that we can guess all we want.
Yeah.
Because we never get insider information.
Right. I don't. Like knowing when the direct happened was like the first time. And I actually
we learned it from like a fourth party. You know, it's not like we heard it from
And I reached out. I was doing a lot of reaching out because I was like, I really don't want our show to be screwed up for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I was
it's not like we asked Mr. Nintendo.
No.
But some of these people ask Mr. Nintendo.
Yeah. So we were reaching out to people who have reached out to people who have talked to and have been around and got coffee for Mr. Nintendo. And we did get an answer, which was nice. But other than that, we don't have any.
But that's why it's easy for us to sit here and say, like, just don't report on the leaks, or don't make a distinction between a leak and something that you're guessing at, because we just guess all the time. We don't have the information.
No, we're idiots.
Yeah.
Nate specifically says, if you get upset over things that are clearly presented as predictions, then you should take a moment to evaluate your priorities, especially when things were framed as what we know and prediction / think may be there.
You've lost me. I have no
idea. That's the thing,
that's
the thing, is that coming from somebody on our side, we don't know if it's a leak or a prediction, because you do both of those things.
I mean, no one. We're all like everyone. Yeah. It's the same thing. We never know what's a leak or a prediction, because you're putting it out there the same way you put anything out there.
Anything you hear on this podcast is a prediction, unless you hear it from a developer themselves.
If you're a known leaker, if you love taking a leak, when you start leaking something that's a prediction, can you like use the italics converter and like put it in italics or something?
That's the
just
problem.
So we know what's a leak and what's a prediction.
The problem is when they leak something, they can't say it's a leak, because they'll get in trouble and they'll get the person who leaked it in trouble.
How is that our fault our problem. If
I
we get
know. That's what I'm
confused.
saying. It's a very easy problem to understand once you put it all into perspective.
If you've been okay, and all right, I don't want to talk about Nate this much because I like Nate, and
He's just an example because again, there was him, there was
we're in
Liam
a chat
Robertson, there
together.
was Jeff Grubb, there was that Matt
We've
guy
never
that you were
met.
talking about.
but he seems nice. You say Matt Pat?
No, Matt something.
Matt Marty? I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that
Them
is.
I don't care about.
Whoa!
unless you watch the show and you're a fan. But I'm in a chat with Nate.
Anybody, if you're not, then fuck.
I don't want to double down on that. To be honest, and here's the thing, I don't really follow leakers at all. I just happen to be friends with Nate, so I follow him, and that's why my only experience here is with Nate.
Right.
But if you are like Nate or like any of these people who kind of, your thing is that you are known for leaking stuff, for dropping stuff.
The problem is they don't like.
You can't be upset when someone gets upset with you if something you leaked or said doesn't come true.
But in their head, they're not going out there to be a leaker. They just get.
But they
paged like
have
this.
to know that's what they are seen as, and that is
talking
their.
about Nate, but in Nate's case, people write articles about him when he throws something out there. We were on the podcast with them, and
I want articles wrote about me. Can we throw something out there? Here, I'm going to give away that thing that we couldn't talk about in the first episode. Somebody told us when we were, I'm not going to even point, someone told us a new Switch was happening.
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, someone told us that around this time right now as we sit here, they even said September, that developers were going to start,
about that.
we're going to start switching over to the new hardware. Which is why I even hinted at the start of this that maybe the lack of direct stuff was because of that. I was legitimately told that by somebody who has Switch development unit kits and we're expecting. So there. Now put that out there. Now I'm Nate.
Oh no.
Now I'm Nate.
Oh no. Can I get verified on Twitter?
Yeah, you need
If
to
you're
be
gonna write, if you're
verified.
gonna write articles, say I did it and get me verified on Twitter.
That person's gonna hate me now.
Okay, wait. Obviously, that's not happening because no. Okay, listen. I'm sure that there's Switch 2 development units or whatever, but obviously that's not happening because there was fuck all in this direct.
Yeah, because they're working on it and they can't show the gameplay
Right.
because they'll be like, "Why does that look so good? That looks better than what the Switch can do."
Watch Dogs situation.
Yeah, everyone's like, "Oh, Tunic and Harvest Moon look like crap on the Switch." Well, just wait till next month.
Yeah. So yeah, no, you're right. There's something's going on. Something's in development.
Can I say
I completely forgot that was a thing.
Yeah, I know. I've been thinking about it. Can we be done with? Maybe I'm speaking for myself here, but I want to be done with leaks.
I try
really
to
wanna
ignore
be
them
done with
because
leaks.
when somebody I've had somebody come to me and say, like a developer say, "Can you keep a secret?" And I said, "No, don't tell me." Because I don't want to know because I talk so much.
Yeah.
Like if I can't say it to people, I don't want to know. Just
Yeah.
don't tell me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm much happier taking guesses and seeing if I'm right or not. And listen, we know a lot about this space.
I feel like we get
and
a lot right.
We're usually pretty okay getting our shots. I was very disappointed in that last direct, specifically because of the GameCube games. And because I did what I tried my best not to do, I got my hopes up off of leaks and rumors.
I will say, and I mean this in all honesty, even though a lot of people do not believe me, I don't get excited for directs based on rumors. Never. I get excited based on where I feel the direct should be and what I think is going to happen, which is almost never what I've been told. Like every time I'm like, surely Metroid Prime Trilogy is this time. And then I look for it and I wait for it and it doesn't happen and I get upset.
Well, that's what it was. Like I normally don't listen to those leaks or rumors either, but I was like, this one makes a lot of sense. GameCube games makes a lot of sense.
I will say, even though I go in like that, I fully believed Wind Waker and Twilight Princess were getting revealed at that direct. I think everybody did.
Yeah.
So now here's the question. Was that true? Because usually things don't get that intense unless it's going to happen. Like that was intense.
So that's why I don't like to listen to leaks and rumors is because sometimes there's something in development at Nintendo or at any studio. Something's in development, they're working on it, and they just never release it.
Yeah.
Something breaks or something, or like in the case of I think Mario Kart, everybody thought the Mario Kart DLC was a new Mario Kart game.
Yeah.
They saw somebody at Nintendo probably showed somebody the maps, and they were like, "Oh, that's a new game," and they just ran with the fact that it was a new game, and then they announced DLC, and a lot of people were like, "I was right."
Yeah, that did happen. Yeah. No,
so that's why I don't like to listen to leaks and rumors because it's a game of telephone. It could be completely different than what you saw one time in development. Maybe it was supposed to be a new Mario Kart game, and they were like, "Nah, screw it. We're just gonna make it DLC."
What do you think it is about human nature that like we want to know so bad before we're told, that we want to know about these leaks?
It's like forbidden.
That
And you're like the guy.
that we give certain people like whole careers based around on like finding the leaks for something that it's going to happen in a week.
It's like knowing a
But I
band
knew first.
before they were cool.
It's
I
like
listened to the first
it's like when
My
I
Chemical
was
Romance album.
when I was like
Are they gonna play that
When I was
they
like-
play at Madison Square
They
Garden? No,
did.
Barclays.
They did.
They did. Oh my god.
what are we talking
It
about?
was sick.
He's some My Chemical Romance
Oh, you did.
I went last week. It was-
on
it was sick.
9/11, right?
Yeah.
Did you know they started because
Yeah.
of 9/11?
Yeah.
I swear
was-
to God.
It was crazy. it was
I
that's
love
like
My
a big
Chemical
top
Romance.
5 concerts for me. It was incredible.
Wow. Yeah, they're amazing. I
They're
mean,
playing in Jersey this week
have
if you
never
want to
seen
go.
them live, but I watched them live and they're amazing. It's
They're-
like one for one. You
they're
My
can't
playing in
even-
roommate saw
Jersey.
them and said they were incredible.
That's one of my
He
favorite
went the day
bands.
before.
It's one of my favorite bands.
You should go.
Remember when we went on one of our first dates and we went to karaoke and I sang Black Parade at karaoke? No, me and my wife. She's behind the camera.
I didn't know that Thursday opened. Did Thursday open?
Yeah, but we got there as they were finishing.
Didn't they do full collapse, like front
Yeah.
to back?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, it was sick.
I went to the 10-year
My
reunion of full
father.
collapse.
Did you?
Yeah,
I
see,
should've
I knew
told
them
you.
before
You
they were
should've-
cool.
You should have.
I went. Somebody
see
wanted. One of my
ya
friends wanted to go, and I was like, "No,
marching
they're not going to play anything off of the first
Yeah,
two
but
albums."
why-
Apparently they
He
did, and I
said
didn't even know Thursday was
so.
playing. I would have
I
gone.
You
see.
grow
You know
up,
what your problem is. I
will
invite you to
you
shit, and you
be
say, "No, I
the
want to go."
savior
So
of
I didn't even fuck.
I'm going to be
I
honest with you. I probably still would
I
have.
had 8 tickets.
Oh my God.
I had 8 tickets.
Hannah, did you want to see My Chemical Romance?
They're playing. Well, they're playing this week in Jersey. So
defeat them.
No, we're not.
you're gonna
your
get copyright.
demons and all the non-believers, the plans that they have.
So what we're
made.
trying to say is that My Chemical Romance is coming out with a game on the
Because
Switch.
one day I'll leave you a phantom. All right, I'm done. What were we talking about?
Zim
Oh
said-
yeah, like the one time when I was a 15-year-old, 16, probably like 18 actually, and I went to Game, the game store Game. It was just the word game. And
Where was this, in Australia?
yeah, and I was like, it was like Thursday, and Gears of War 3 or 4 maybe came out on the Friday, and they maybe, yeah. So and the guy was I was like, can I have it now? Because they were closing, and he was like, I'm not allowed to do this, but sure. And he gave me the game a day early, and I went home
You
and
can
like
get in a lot of trouble
all
for
my
that.
friends, like, we're massive Gears of War fans, and like it tells you what you're playing on the Xbox, and mine said the new game, and like my friends went wild, man. I was getting pings on IM like all night, like Skype was going crazy. Ventrilo, I was getting like buzzed.
Can I ask a question? So like, what, there's like this stuff that's leaks, right? That you don't like them, and I don't like them.
I don't
either.
like them, I hate
But
them.
what about like the Giga leak, right? What do you consider that when that came out?
that is like
because I think that
that is
a leak.
verified. Yeah.
No, but I'm saying that to me is more of a leak than what's he doing?
I'm filming Zimmy's.
Please
rolling on
put
the
that.
carpet
Please
right
send that to
now.
the editor.
Like that to me is
What's
more
a
of
Giga leak? Is
The
that
Giga
like the
leak was
Jennifer
where-
Lawrence thing?
Yes, but not what
But
we're talking
different
about.
game.
The Giga Leak is like when they showed that Luigi was originally planned for Super Mario 64, and there was a bunch of like Zelda Ocarina of Time dungeons. His legs don't work. What happened to your legs?
He's like, oh no, I got him.
He's like, no, they're right here. They're right here. Everything's fine. Oh, let's go. Oh, let's go.
Sorry, everybody.
So you remember we played multiplayer Mario 64 one time. You can see
Yes.
it on one of our
Yes.
YouTube channels.
Mine.
And I switched the model
mine.
for Luigi to be the one that was originally supposed to be in Mario 64. And I like made a big deal about it, but nobody cared. That was leaked. So that was a thing that was actually at Nintendo that somebody found.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Those leaks I like.
Yeah, but those are like actual verifiable things that are like so old by now, you know?
Those are good. Yeah. I like
Yeah, that's like video game history.
So how do we stamp out leaks, as in like upcoming leaks for things? How do we block that out, or do we? Because people seem to like them.
But that's the thing. So you have to just remember that if the company doesn't announce it officially, then you have to be very skeptical because it's not an official thing until they say what it is.
I know there are legitimately people that get super excited for these leaks and then they just don't happen. So I can't stop looking at the little guy. He's just having a blast.
What happened to your legs? They're right there. Okay, they're there. He likes carpets.
Is he on camera at all when Bob's not filming?
No, I can do it though.
No, you don't have to. It's okay.
We got
some.
a clip.
We
got
some.
one clip of it. Enjoy yourself, Zim. He doesn't get out much.
I think I need to get a puppy. We need to get a puppy, Kim.
Take him.
No, I could never do it.
Split
to
him in
Hannah.
half. You'll get the back half. We'll get the front half. He got into a vicious fight today with my roommate's dog.
Really?
Yeah, they
Oh.
just killed each other.
Wow. Are you gonna miss that dog?
I'll see him.
Okay. Are you? Will you like go and visit?
Yeah, I've been friends with my roommate since first grade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He didn't have this dog until we moved in together. Like a month into us moving in together, he's like, "I'm getting a dog," and I was like, "I didn't know this is part of the deal."
Why did Sam get the dog though?
Why did he get?
that
Oh,
story?
for babes, for sure to get babes.
Did it work?
Yes.
Oh, that's funny. Well, Kim, we gotta
'Cause
get a dog.
Because if you don't know what to say to somebody, you just send a picture of the dog, and they go, "Oh my god."
Wow.
It works, right?
Yeah, it does work. It does.
Dog park meetups.
Does it work
yes.
with cats? We got cats.
Kinda, sorta.
They also have to be a cat person because if
I-
they're not,
I
Yeah,
think
if I
so.
sent Hannah a cat picture, she would be like, "Get away from me."
I think it would work with Logan, but Sammy would send people running. He's so aggressive.
She's
so
round.
orange. What? Sorry, what were we talking about?
We were talking about leaks, and then we ran out of things to say about leaks.
I guess we kind of did. I guess we exhausted that. I am at the point where I don't take leaks too seriously, but the Wind Waker one, I feel like that is definitely a thing that is happening. I mean, that's just one of them.
Know.
It's one of those that got way too out of control. It was Persona 5 levels, and then Persona happened. Like there is levels of these leaks, like the ones like a sly hint at F-Zero. I don't know. Could care less.
I think that they had to do something with GameCube emulation because they have Sunshine. On
Yeah,
the
and
Switch.
also the GameCube talk was so loud as well.
Yeah. So, if they have a GameCube emulator, they got to be testing other games.
Yeah,
And one of the hardest games to emulate is going to be F-Zero.
yeah.
That runs at like full 60 and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
Why is it that the GameCube could handle these games so well, but like these little emulators we get that can chew through equivalent consoles can't handle GameCube games?
no, GameCube is they can't handle equivalent. GameCube's pretty up there,
It is.
especially for these little tiny little Android devices.
Okay.
GameCube's pretty up there. Dreamcast runs really well on a lot of the
But
stuff.
like, well, for example, like with the Switch, right? We have ports, and this is literally me asking a question. But like, we have ports of all these like new games that came out on like PS4, like Witcher and stuff. But then the idea of like getting GameCube emulator on Switch and running some of these games is like F-Zero is gonna struggle.
Okay, so I mean they could for sure get GameCube emulation on a Switch. The Switch is powerful enough for it, for sure. But back in the day, consoles used to be developed with very unique architecture. Now consoles are being developed to mimic PCs, and in the Switch's case, an Android tablet. The Switch
Okay.
is just a straight up Android tablet. It's
Mhm.
got the same stuff in it that a phone has. But Xbox Series X and a PlayStation 5, they closely mimic a PC. And that's why I don't want to say it's easy, but it's easier for them to port PC ports over to Xboxes and PlayStations. And back in the day, it was really hard because it was a very unique architecture. And that's why we're still struggling to get even PlayStation 3 emulation on PCs because PlayStation 3 was such a unique.
Oh, it was still like in
internals.
that console era.
Yeah.
So 4 and like Xbox One were the first PCs at home, really?
Yeah, 4 was like pretty much a PC, but still like kind of unique.
Xbox definitely was. I remember that being the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah.
And now Xbox is literally just a tower PC.
Yeah. And
That-
same thing with PlayStation is
Is
pretty
marketed as a console.
close. Yeah.
It's pretty funny when you think about it.
Yeah.
It's also why it's like not as fun to play. I love my Xbox, but like the PlayStation controller just makes it so much more fun because it's like I'm playing a console still.
I love the Xbox controller.
No, I do too. But it's something like the PlayStation controller that brings the fun of a console into the equation.
Yeah.
Because you can use an Xbox controller on a PC and it feels the same as playing the Xbox.
Yeah, I mean they're getting better at PlayStation controller support on PCs, and now Joy-Cons. You can put Joy-Cons in Steam. We talked about that already. That you can do Joy-Cons in iOS now.
You know where you can use controllers, like Xbox controllers?
What?
In Teslas.
Oh yeah.
But not PlayStation yet.
There's got to be a way to go to like a web browser and emulate a game in a Tesla.
We got to figure out.
There's
we should
gotta be
rent
a way.
a Tesla
I did that one time.
and we will
I'll do it
emulate
again.
games on it.
Weren't you going to make a video on a Tesla you rented?
I rented a Tesla for a
Yeah.
weekend and and here's a conspiracy theory for everyone. And I was talking to E about this today. I rented it because I wanted to make a video and kind of like a little bit with every Nintendo Switch game on a Tesla, because most of the games in a Tesla that weren't designed for the Tesla are Switch games, or they're ports that were on Switch as well. But the big one is Witcher. Like if you go to like buy a Tesla and you look at the cabin, they all have The Witcher on
yeah,
it.
I've seen that. Yeah. If you go to the website, it has it.
It's not on.
Didn't we see it in like a YouTube video? Somebody showing their Tesla?
No, I have, because you rented that one. You rented like a 3.
Yeah.
I rented an S, a 2022 S, not on there. There's no
I
way
didn't
to.
even look at the games. Did you look at the games?
Yeah.
online?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no way to download games. There's no way to, like, there's just the games that are on there. There's no way on the phone, no way on the car. And then I went online and I Googled, and E can look it up right now if he wants, Witcher 3 played on Tesla or anything like that. There's no footage. No one's done it, and no one's talking about it. Where is Witcher 3 on Tesla? This is a conspiracy.
Yeah.
Elon is lying to us.
No, I believe that.
I don't think it's on the console. There was an article that said that Teslas are now capable of playing games like Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk, and they market the cars on Tesla's website with Witcher 3, but neither of those games are on a Tesla.
All right, let's go to the dealership and say we want a Tesla, whatever
Can
the
you
most
give us
expensive
the
one
Witcher
is.
Tesla, please?
We'll act like a couple, and we're gonna say where you want like the most expensive Tesla that you have.
We want
Give
the
us that.
Geralt.
We make a lot
Tesla.
of money. Let's go get the biggest Tesla and go. Does someone play The Witcher? And they're gonna go. No, we don't have the. Oh, then forget it.
I'd be
We're
like,
done.
well,
We're out of
we're
here.
not even together. So joke's on you.
this is a sting operation.
This was a ruse.
That is really weird. I think a lot of the games that are ports from the Switch that are on Tesla are just games that are everywhere.
Yeah, no, I mean, some of the coolest ones is like Stardew Valley, which, by the way, I had the Tesla and charging it takes like 30 minutes. Can you imagine getting through a Stardew Valley playthrough only playing for the 30 minutes you charge your car every now and then?
Which Sonic is on there?
Sonic 2, I'm pretty sure.
2 or 3?
3, maybe 3.
That would be my thing. If I
Yeah.
had to charge the Tesla, it would be
Kim
Sonic
played
3.
Sudoku. So, and I helped, and we did great. We did the hardest difficulty. And there's one where it's like a Mario Kart clone, but you actually use the steering wheel
Right.
to drive the car.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
pretty
I mean, you need things to do when you're sitting there charging for a friggin' 2 hours.
I hear New York. Do you hear that?
I hear that.
It's a siren. You guys probably can't hear it.
Gonna miss it.
How's the construction going up there, by the way?
They haven't been banging around.
They removed the floor, and now they're putting a new floor.
Well, that's fun.
Oh,
So-
do you want to talk about what happened while I was coming back from California?
Sure.
I get a video from him. They removed all the insulation up top,
Mhm.
and then they replaced it with foam
Oh,
insulation.
that's when we were supposed to film.
And they literally pushed it through, and it went through all the lights.
Yeah,
And-
all the lights had. You could see kind of like.
I was actually looking at that at the start of this episode, and I didn't want to say anything,
Yeah.
but I was like,
No, we turned that off on purpose.
Yeah, we turned that one off.
no,
because it
yeah, well,
looked
no,
good
I
on
meant
you
because
guys.
I can see that it's coming out of
Yeah,
the.
yeah, well, yeah, that we came to do the podcast one day, and all the lights were busted out.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
so-
All of
and,
them.
and above you on the right, it looks like a piece of tape.
Yeah.
That was a
Some-
sawzall
Fucking-
through the ground.
Someone sawed through the floor.
Can you imagine? I was sitting here doing a podcast, and right
You
there,
just hear-
zzz.
One time they were doing construction on the roof of my parents' house, and my mom was laying in bed watching TV, and a foot came through the ceiling.
That's terrifying.
So that's all I think about when I hear like the banging. I'm like, someone's coming through. So what happened? I sent you a video.
And I lost my shit for a hot second, and then I made them fix it, and I told them not to do it again
No,
because they.
back
How are
up.
they- how
you
are they so
sent them.
incompetent?
You
So I
sent the
sent-
guys
I sent
working
the
on
guy-
the video
Bob's video.
where I'm like, Kirsten
And Bob's like,
and yelling
Bob
at
literally
them.
goes, I really wish they'd take some time to consider it, the consideration of
I
us
said they
being
have
down there.
no consideration at all for anything that goes on down
That's in
here.
the video, and then
It's
you
in the
sent
video,
it
and
to
then
them.
you send it to them.
And the guy texts me, he goes, let me talk to your friend. I think we need to talk. I don't like what he said. And
I
was
said, I'll
like,
be here tomorrow.
And I was like,
come on down.
Wow.
I said, you don't look good right now. There's no way you're winning this fight, man. And it was a whole mess. And then they last second.
Would you afford him?
Oh yeah,
Sure.
You're so hot.
I went up there. There once.
Yeah.
Because what was it?
They were banging on the floor or something.
Something specifically happened. No, I think it was a leak. I think water
Oh,
was
was
coming
it the
down.
water over there that came through?
I had to go up for some reason. And
No, there was something. You came up and you're like, guys, what the fuck?
I think it was a leak. There's multiple times where water just pouring through one of the lights.
One
and
time
that
they just
happened
left the
once.
faucet on,
Yeah.
and
my
it
God.
was going into the ground.
I went up there and I was like, "What's going on? There's leaks everywhere. They're all this big."
Oh, I remember.
So,
It was the router.
so
It was the
water
router, yeah.
water came through the ceiling,
Uh-huh.
and there was like
Oh,
a little,
yeah,
there was like a
yeah.
little
You
puddle
told me about
over there.
that.
There was like a little puddle, and the router was dead. So I was like, "Oh, let's just take this off the wall and rush the water all down."
That's crazy.
That's when I went up there. Yeah.
How are they so incompetent up there? Why can't they? It's not a normal thing.
You tell me, man. I don't know. People don't care.
Anyway, the last week they haven't been banging around. It's been great.
Yesterday
great.
was bad. I was like, if you're gonna come here, come after 5 because it was bad.
Oh god,
Like,
How are they
were-
loud for such tiny people?
I don't,
banging
Those
around.
big shoes stomping around. Kim and I, we're trying to get. She has this tiny. It's not that tiny, but I mean, like the room's probably about what this size? Would you say about? It's like 14 by 16 feet. I think we did measure it. And we were trying to get the carpet ripped up and floors put down and 4 lights like these ones put in. And we got a guy to come out and he took like 2 months to get us a quote. And when he finally did, he was like 12 grand. What? Yeah. And this was after he was like, we wanted hardwood floors down. And he's like, no, I don't want those. We can get like the cheaper ones, the quieter, they'll get the cheap ones put in and everything. And then he's like, yeah, 12 grand. And then we're like, oh, okay. Kim's been waiting to start working since we moved because we wanted to have this room redone. So if you're a carpenter in PA, hit me up. You want to do it? No, I have somebody who can. Okay. If they can do it less than 12 grand, they have a job. Because I ain't paying that for floors and 4 lights. Carpenters suck.
What's this have to do with Nintendo?
You
it's
guys,
Nintendo, dude.
That's a good
What?
point. We're not talking.
You guys went on a tangent
Wasn't the whole
about the
idea for you guys to
studio.
trail off? Like,
That's a good point.
no, but anyway, back to the topic that we had for this episode. Leakers suck. All right, sorry to pull a handbrake here a little bit. This is very weird. We haven't done this before. If you're listening to the audio, you're probably noticing no different. But Bob and I have turned our little cameras on a couple of days later to interject into our own episode because we've been talking about leaks now for a little bit in the episode, and a major one happened a couple of days ago that relates to this conversation so much, it would be weird if we didn't mention it at all now.
Right.
GTA 6.
GTA 6 if you're American.
I'm saying T, believe it or not. It just sounds like a D. The entire, I guess, pre-alpha build stage, like so much of it has leaked to the public.
Yeah, and it caused a massive stir over on Twitter where I saw all of the clips and I saw the discourse of people saying it either looked bad or it looked fine. And I saw a lot of people talking about like the ethics of leaking stuff, which felt really bizarre to me.
So this ties in so much with what we were talking about. This is a perfect example of leaks being terrible things. And I just feel so bad for Rockstar at this point because, I mean, on a very smaller scale, I couldn't imagine like working on a video for like weeks and then somehow someone gets like a good chunk of it and just puts it out there before I get a chance. And that's just a small scale version of a game they've been working on for years. I also think that it's funny, as you said, that some people think it looks terrible and some people think it looks pretty good, because I think you got two sides of the camp here. People that don't really understand how games are made and can't really look at this thing outside of the alpha stage, and they just think it looks bad because they don't understand it's half made. And then the people that can actually see that this is actually looking pretty sick, but either way, it sours the reveal. It sours the taste. It ruins everything that Rockstar might have been leading up to. It's just really disappointing. And this is not how I wanted to see it the first time.
This is not the way it should have been shown to the public at first, which is why I think there were a lot of like brain dead people who were like, this doesn't look good, because obviously it's not finished. In my opinion, it looks pretty close to like, it's way more fleshed out than I was expecting it to be. Like, I didn't see any missing textures or anything. It looked like a pretty full world. There's just some like development tools you can visually see in the shot. There's like, some like text in the corner and with like system specs and whatever. You could see like arrows for like where the character is like gonna go and stuff, and there's, it seemed like the person who was playing the game was like purposely trying to break the AI, because there is some AI issues, like the NPCs are like doing weird stuff. Otherwise, it looked fine. It just looked like they weren't ready to show this stuff. It looked like, to me, they could be close to showing it soon. Like, it looks like we might get some sort of like official trailer, or at least a tease or something from the game, because it seems like they did a lot of work already. But clearly there's more to go. The game is definitely not done.
Well, that's another thing too. We don't know when, and you never know when these leaks are from. Like, the best guess that we can gather right now is there's some kind of big group chat that Rockstar developers are in, and someone found their way into it, some kind of Slack chat, and there's a bunch of videos in there because the devs are sharing videos, as you said, stress testing things, and they're all working remotely right now. A lot of them have been working remotely on this game, so they're all sharing these videos, and they could be from 2 or 3 years ago.
So they might be, because it's confirmed that it's a PS4 dev kit that this is running off, which is incredible, because it looks like, it does not look like a PS4 game. It looks like
it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks very good. So it's probably an older build.
This could have been a chat during COVID.
Yeah,
when they were working remotely, for all we know.
I think the game definitely started development at least on the PS4. So they could still have a build that's working on PS4 development kits. Eventually, they'll shed that. I don't think this game's coming out for PS4 at all, but eventually they'll shed the older hardware when it starts to get too system intensive. But yeah, right now we don't know when this build was from at all. So this could have been from 2 years ago, and they could be way farther along by now. But again, I think it looks, from what we've seen, it looks farther along than what I was expecting anyway.
Yeah, no, for those that haven't seen it and don't want spoilers, we're not going to whatever, but yeah.
Well, we can't, because we're going to get striked, because they're striking everybody. You can see it on Twitter a little bit. If you search hard enough, you can see it on Twitter. I
just meant I didn't even want to describe what's happening, but the character models look pretty good. The environments look weirdly polished, considering a lot of other stuff I was seeing was like obviously pre-build. I mean, there's literally pop-ups around the screen and coding around the screen. And I think one of the NPCs looked like a default little robot kind of like placeholder figure. Like, it's not done. And it's crazy to me that so many people have this perception of it now because they've seen it like, last couple of days. So in their mind, they go, oh, this is the game now. There's no way this is like anything from like years ago. This is the game now, and it looks terrible. And it actually doesn't even look that bad. It just looks like that it's not finished.
I will say that when I saw it, I would have never been able to tell the difference between this or Grand Theft Auto Online, because it looks like Grand Theft Auto 5. I wouldn't have been able to tell the difference between this and Grand Theft Auto 5 or parts of Grand Theft Auto Online, because I didn't play much of the online. I only played through the
That's why I really feel like this isn't finished, isn't finalized. We can't bring it up, but there's a shot of one of the characters standing near a beach and like grass, and if you look at the actual grass texture, it's a flat matte texture with a few little like twigs, like the default grass that you get when you like render things back all the way.
Yeah.
So I really think even the parts that look good, we're not seeing it all. We're not seeing all of the dynamic resolution or the ray tracing. We're not seeing all the good effects and everything that's going to end up getting pumped into the game. And Why do this? Why leak it? Just for clout.
So that's
all for clout.
That's the question is like, we deal with Nintendo leaks all the time, and with Nintendo leaks, we seem jazzed to hear about it. Like if we hear a leak that Metroid Prime is like Metroid Prime trilogy is in development for the Switch, we get excited about that stuff. How come this was so divisive in games journalism?
Because I would think because Nintendo is so closed doors, so careful with things that sure, we hear about leaks, but we never see them.
Right.
It's not like we've seen Wind Waker running on the Switch. We haven't seen a pre-build of Metroid Prime. We literally have no idea, and we won't know until Nintendo is ready.
Yeah, well, sometimes we get stuff like
companies,
the Giga Leak, which we talk about in the episode. We talk about the Giga Leak, but that is way after the fact. It's like years later we hear about something Nintendo was working on. And it's like a positive thing. It's like, oh, they were working on that. That could have been cool.
I actually think, and this goes for most games, but I think Metroid Prime is a bad example because at this point, people are so desperate to know it's even happening that even seeing a pre-build would be like, okay, something is going on. Yeah. But with GTA, it's like, we know it's happening. We know it's going to be cool. We saw Red Dead Redemption 2 and how amazing that game was. Yeah, so the first time you look at it, this is not what you want to see. It puts a bad taste in your mouth whether you like it or not. And end of the day, it's just not when Rockstar was ready to show it and someone out there got access to it and leaked it purely for clout. I really hope they get caught because this sucks. I think this really sucks.
I agree it sucks, and it sucks for the developers. There's over 1,000 people working at Rockstar, but also they're a major corporation, and Grand Theft Auto is the second. Grand Theft Auto 2... Grand Theft Auto 5 is the second best-selling game of all time, and it's constantly still on the top 10 best-selling games month to month to month. It sells a butt ton, and this one is going to be no exception. It's still going to sell a butt ton. It will probably be up there just with Grand Theft Auto 5 as one of the best-selling games of all time. So I don't think this is going to hurt them at all. I don't feel that bad. Like, it does suck. I didn't want to see it this way. I'd rather have seen it. But then again, I can put some perspective on it. Like, I know that it's not done, and I know that the reveal will be a lot better than this. Normal GTA fans might not have that hindsight because GTA is so big that, casuals are going to see this leak, and they're not going to know what game development's like. There were tweets that I saw, people talking about how... there's one guy who was like, the visuals are the first thing that get finished in a game. So this is what it's going to look like when it's done. And it's like, that's not true at all.
That's literally the last step is the visuals.
Yeah. So that's part of the reason why there's so much drama is because normal people don't know what game development's like. So this is what they see, and it sullies it for them. But in the grand scheme of things, like we're in the conversation of talking about the ethics of leaks and stuff, and that's where things get really weird.
I think it's pretty unethical. It's literally illegal. And if he gets caught, he will be fined. Yes,
that is definitely illegal.
He was
stealing information from a major company, yeah.
Yes, with Rockstar, who have come after people before for millions of dollars and won. Yep. So for this exact thing. But I think it's funny, as you said, that people not really understanding how things like that work. There's going to be people when this game finally gets revealed and it looks incredible. And I don't doubt it's going to be one of the best looking games of all time. Because, again, look at Red Dead 2. They're going to be like, oh, good thing that leak happened. It's like a Sonic situation where they got caught and now they had to make it look really good. So they worked hard at improving it.
Yeah, but Sonic's still going to come out and be not good. So now that since this happened and you think this guy's gonna get arrested, should they arrest Jeff Grubb for leaking the GameCube?
Yes, that is the takeaway here. That is absolutely the takeaway. Grubb, get ready, handcuffs are coming. No, that's very different levels. But
so one last thing I wanted to say. I tweeted that I tweeted Grand Theft Auto 6 looks like if they took Grand Theft Auto 5 and made a new game out of it. And that was supposed to be a very lukewarm, like not even a thing take. And people thought I was like shitting all over the footage. I was like, no, I just thought it looked very normal. This is like, of course they would take Grand Theft Auto 5 and make a new game out of it. That's how these big AAA games get made. Obviously, it's going to be way different than Grand Theft Auto 5, but they need a base or something. I'm just trying to say it didn't look much different than Grand Theft Auto Online. Don't take what I'm saying too seriously.
Yeah, I do kind of agree there. I think it looks amazing and it's only going to look better. And I think it's going to blow GTA 5 out of the water visually. But when I saw it, there was a level. And this is why not getting the reveal with the story and the dynamic of it all kind of takes the wind out of the sails. But I was looking at it and you're right. I was like, yeah, that's the game.
Yeah.
That's what I expected.
Yeah,
that looks
if
like
I
GTA.
if I closed my eyes and pictured GTA 6, it would have been this.
Yeah, that's it. And it's like, I don't really know what I expected. But again, I guess we're missing a lot of those finer details.
Yeah.
I want to know like what you can do, what's different, what's changed, what's evolved, because Rockstar's really good at making these games feel real. One of my favorite things in Red Dead is just walking into a store and picking an apple off the shelf and buying it and walking out. Like I love that kind of stuff. Right. So I want to know how they've gone further with current day in GTA 6. That's the stuff I want to see. So. Right. I'm excited.
Another thing that's interesting to me is that normally and historically, Rockstar will make a bunch of games, and all of those games have a mechanic that they will then introduce into Grand Theft Auto, the main title. Like you have Max Payne 3, which was the shooting mechanics. You have LA Noire, which is the facial animations and stuff, and they all eventually are in development to then help Grand Theft Auto 5. Now we have no games. Rockstar isn't making anything. They have 1 billion studios across the world. There's over 1,000 employees, probably. I don't know. It sounds like it. And they're all working on Grand Theft Auto. So we have basically no insight as to what Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to look like at all. So that's why this leak was very exciting, because finally we get to see a little peek under the curtain.
That is why it's exciting, but exciting not in the way I wanted it to be.
Right.
But yes, I agree. All right. Okay. That was more than 5 minutes. We should probably get back to
I knew we were going to go.
I know. We're really bad. We should probably get back to the other us from a couple days ago. Man, aren't they handsome?
Oh, they're so cute.
Oh my God. Let's give them a little kiss. Mwah.
Make out with them. Get me verified on Twitter.
You do. The fact that you're not verified is wild.
People tell me you need to have articles written about it.
I know, and you've had
and
so
I
many.
have all these freaking articles.
You know
and you post when you apply for verification, you put the articles like the freaking. I had the.
Do you keep trying every month when they reject you?
Yes, I haven't in a few months.
How many times have you been rejected?
A lot.
Twitter, what the heck?
I had the every time I post about the stupid OLED switch that's still running, there's articles. I had when I put Tenet on the Game Boy, there's an article about that. There was the Mobius on the Game Boy Color. There's articles about that. There was that one time. Was there an article? Yeah. There was also when Logan Paul friggin' put Game Boys in a stupid table or something.
That looked cool though.
I just said something stupid on Twitter and I got put in a bunch of articles.
Yeah, you're influential. You have
in that one they said notable retro gamer Bob Wolf. I like that one. When
notable.
When I put Tenet on the Game Boy Advance, all different types of titles. I got coder, which is I got developer. I got modder, which I was like, okay, I don't know about that either.
See, Twitter now he doesn't even know how to apply. He's got too many job titles.
Yeah,
just give him the check mark,
please. I need to do it for the podcast because I'm with a verified person.
Yes,
come on.
I'm verified, and this is one of the top 5 gaming podcasts in the United States of America.
Yeah. I expect a check mark on my
There
desk
are literally
by
people
Monday.
verified on your platform, Twitter, that I will go to their profile and they have like 500 followers, and I can't even find out what they do.
A lot of times it's like weird publishing like deals.
Yeah, well, publish this guy. I've only been in one article. You know what it was for? Blowing up my Switch.
We need to do that more.
I know. I can help you. Give me a Switch and I'll get you verified.
So I was working on a video for this week that I've been working on for a long time, where I'm just making a Game Boy DS macro or Game Boy macro. Do you know what that is?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay,
the little baby one.
That's a micro.
Then no.
It's like that but bigger. So it's a DS Lite where you just rip the top screen off.
Oh, so it's not a thing. It's
a thing you make.
It's a created thing.
Yeah, it's a thing you make. No. So you rip the top screen off and it turns into a Game Boy Advance.
I have seen that before. It's pretty cool.
It is cool. It's taken me forever to do it for some reason. And this week, I went to go put the final touches on it because I finally got the faceplate that I wanted. I put it on and broke the power button off. The power button is very delicate, especially when you put the top part back on. And I haven't done it in like a month. So
Weren't you streaming fixing that last night?
Yeah, and I broke another one. Because I needed to take the power button off of one and put it on another, and I did that, and I just broke 2.
Okay.
So there goes. This
You're
is
doing great, sweetie.
This is the first time I have failed so hard at making a video. Actually, when we did the video to kick off this podcast, when I made that controller that was supposed to torture you, that was
your
pretty
big
much
fail.
a failure. But I made that work. This one, I just didn't have a video. I was just like, this is just done.
My biggest fail is when I spent 2 weeks learning how to do lightsaber tricks with Kim with very expensive replica lightsabers because I thought I was going to make a whole mini movie about Star Wars. And then I ended up finding one dirt mound and filmed a little bit on top of it and called it good.
Oh, no. I remember that.
Yeah. And then I just built a story around the fact of how I failed making the video.
Oh,
Good
my
times.
God.
Good
What
times.
lightsabers did you get?
We got like really good ones from Amazon, but they were like,
Are they Force FX?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's like that, and then there's like the custom ones.
My friend Billy did help me. I did the whole lightsaber effect, but he like superimposed like a moon and stars behind me and everything. And it
God.
actually looked like I was on like a planet or something. It's a really cool 10 seconds.
All right, so that's not a failure at all. You did it.
I think it was, but that shot was cool. And I've never touched a lightsaber since.
You've scrapped videos before, right? You've just thrown them out.
No, I upload any old crap. I've scrapped one video and it was I reviewed the Monster Hunter movie. And I was gonna upload
you played
that.
it on your
Yeah,
Twitch
I watched
stream.
it on Twitch once. And everyone was like, this was great. And I'm like, yeah, well, I'm not uploading it now.
Yeah.
I mean, that was when the movie and the game came out. But that's like really the only video I've scrapped. If I'm filming something, then I'm at the point where this is happening.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. Kevin Kenson will straight up delete a video.
Yeah.
If it doesn't perform as well as he wants, he will just delete the
I
video.
got deadlines. I got sponsors.
I know.
Also, I feel like I can make anything fun. This should have already come out by now, but I didn't know how to review Splatoon. So I dragged Kim to Michael's and we grabbed an easel and a giant canvas and a bunch of paint. And I literally just painted while talking about Splatoon.
Oh my God.
And that's my review.
Should have played paintball. Should have shot each other.
We talked about how Kim's never played paintball.
I've never played it either. I used to play airsoft.
Are we about to do this? Have you played? Where is there to play around here?
There's in Philly and there's also
There's
in
a
Jersey.
lot in Pennsylvania.
There's a lot in Pennsylvania.
Let's come to me so I don't have to do that effing drive again. And we will play paintball.
It's
For
fun.
my brother's bachelor party, we went to an airsoft arena so I could shoot all of his friends.
You know what we should do?
What?
We should get
Oh my God, you're
one
beautiful.
side with one paint, one side with the other paint, and literally film it for some kind of Splatoon video.
Yeah, just paint the ground. We gotta get a place that would
We'll make
be
rules.
okay with that.
We'll make rules about painting ground and also painting each other. For sure. Like once we get hit, we're like
If we
splattered.
do that, can we make sure it's not in the winter? Because they freeze and it sucks.
Well, then we either have to do it
Like
very
fall.
soon.
Like
Tomorrow.
because you want it to be a
next
little
year.
cold because you want layers.
Hannah, are you down for
That's not
paintball?
the point.
Oh my God. It's
You
going to be
don't.
so much
You
fun.
don't want to do that.
One time I shot
Yeah,
my
it
uncle
hurts.
point blank.
my God.
You're not supposed to do that.
Let's get mic'd up, do a podcast episode while playing paintball.
Oh my God, dude.
We should invite Jackson.
Oh my God. He
Make
would,
him
be,
the
he would be
target.
very loud.
But then the teams will be even.
Where is Jackson today?
He said he couldn't make it because he said he couldn't.
It must be pretty bad. You can't get it out.
No, he said he couldn't make. He's had previous engagements. He is reenacting Les Mis with a friend of his.
Oh, that's interesting. He's a thespian.
That's why he can't be here.
He's doing it on Twitch,
Yeah,
from what I
it's
understand.
very important.
It's probably pretty cool.
No, it is just.
I have
on
to be.
Twitch.
I kind of really want to see it though.
We should take a lunch break and watch it
Yes.
because it's happening for like 7 hours.
Oh my God. How
So,
long is this freaking
It's
play?
like 3 to 9.
Holy hell. He does it. They're doing it twice. They're doing 2 shows, and they have to take a intermission in the middle, get some snacks.
We should call him and interrupt it and ruin it.
He'll pick up.
Yeah, probably for the clout. Hey, can you try a sip of your coffee?
Yeah. Why?
I just want to get a reaction
Can I get like
in the episode.
Can I get like a cup?
Yeah, go get a cup.
Put some milk in it?
I'll talk with the people for a little bit. So while Bob's doing that, I just want to get the reaction on camera. Thank you all for watching. Appreciate you guys a lot. What? What am I looking at? Oh, sorry. Hi. Welcome. What? Bye. Huh? Thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate you guys. This conversation started out. Bob just broke something. Bob and I wanted to talk about everything happening with Nintendo this year. And then we sat down and I think we kind of realized that, yeah, we do really just know. And that was the point of the direct. So we ended up talking about some other stuff. And I hope you enjoyed the conversation. It was really good to be back in the studio.
You put no milk in this at all?
No milk.
It was pretty light. Was it like a light roast?
It was a 12-hour bake.
Did you put, what did you put in it? You put nothing? Just the spaghetti?
So here was the
I
process.
thought you said something.
I grinded some beans. I got my cold brewy. I just poured it all over. I left it to bake for 12 hours in the fridge, and then I put a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of pumpkin spice in there.
That's what it was. I forgot about that.
Did you put cream in there?
You gotta get your nose in it. I did. It's very good.
Okay. Cool. How would you rate it out of like? Oh, he's going for a second.
What?
You went for a second sip?
Yeah, I did.
How would you rate it out of 10 as far as like cold brews go?
I have to be honest. It tastes like Dunkin' Donuts.
Is that good?
Sometimes.
Thanks for watching. Hey, at least you got a cool jug, I guess.
No, I'm gonna drink it.
I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for watching. Hey, rate us 5 stars wherever you're watching. Also, we're rated really high on Apple, but no one's listening to us on Spotify. We're not even charting in the top 100. And somebody messaged me yesterday and said, can you get the show on Spotify already? We've been there day 1. So let's get some Spotify love happening. Don't switch there from Apple because we need that. Yeah. But if you're listening somewhere wacky, like
bean
podcasting, or podcasts with a Z at the end, or it's just switch to Spotify for a little bit. Do it for Zim, do it for Bob's birthday, and do it for my birthday, which is actually coming up in like 20 days. Just get ready, Bob, because now I will expect something also. So like, comment, subscribe. Bonus episode right now with me and Bob. And next week's bonus episode is going to be a girlfriend episode where Kim and Hannah are going to be sat right here.
I thought that was this bonus episode.
Right now. So with a $5 admission.
Because in the next episode, my brother's going to be here.
This week, you get a bonus episode with Kim and Hannah. And then next week, you get a bonus episode with us and Bob's brother. $5 will get you both of those, as well as 18 other bonuses right now and some behind the scenes. It's great value. It really is. Bye.
Bye.